Padres 6-5 walk-off win over the Dodgers. Yeah, Matt Waldron put the Padres in a hole for sure. Was hanging some pitches. What was it? Less than 80 miles per hour on that not Gavin Lux. He had the sac fly. The homer by Kevin Biggio. Yeah. I mean, that's like the shortest home run that you can hit at Petco Park, right? I mean, right field corner, right off the foul pole. But hey, it was a home run. 5-0 lead after one inning. And this was like the national start that he had, right? First inning, gave up runs, but then he was great the rest of the outing. And then this Dodgers outing gives up a bunch of runs in the first inning, puts you behind, but then he was good the rest of the outing. And then after Matt Waldron ends up finishing his 4 innings of work, gave no runs in the final 3 innings. Obviously, there was a lot of pitches that he threw there, and so that kind of screwed with him there. He finishes with 81 pitches. And Shildt goes to Matsui, Kolek, Morahone, Gillespie, Estrada, and Suarez to finish it off. No runs combined between those 6 Padres pitchers. How many strikeouts? 7 strikeouts. There were some walks in there, but they got out of those jams. And Mike Shildt, I mean, yeah, managerial masterclass. You had Mike Shildt making all of the right moves today. And by the way, when Solano pinch hit for Crony, I would have probably left Crony in there just because I'm a Padres fan and I'm not the manager. Because I will remember for the rest of my life who was pitching when Cronenworth got that hit at Petco in Game 4 of the NLDS. It was the guy on the mound tonight, Alex Vessier, who was having a great season. He's having a great season, but when he's facing the Padres, I don't care. I'm not scared of him. I would have left Crony out there. But if you're basing it off of matchups and it's not baseball Padre fan Ben out there managing, it's Mike Shildt managing. That's why he's managing. You put Donovan Solano in the game there. Like, I understand it. I wasn't pissed off. For anyone that saw me tweet out, did Shildt not watch Game 4 NLDS in 2022? It's not. I wasn't saying like Solano definitely should not be pinch hitting here. I was just having some fun. Like, what? Solano pinch hitting here? It was fine. Either decision. Crony stay in. I understand that. Solano pinch hit. I understand that. Mike Shildt had a managerial masterclass, while on the other side, Dave Roberts doesn't know the rules. You had a mound visit there after you intentionally walk, by the way, Mr. Irrelevant. So pretty relevant. You walk that guy to bring up the Cronenworth spot. You try to go out there, I think, to pull him out of the game, but you can't do it because your pitching coach just went out there to talk to Vesia. So you try to go out there. The ump says, no. You get a pitch clock violation because you're stalling the game here. Like, Dave Roberts, just classic, not knowing the rules, not knowing what he's just brain fart in the middle of a huge situation. So, yeah, who's got the better manager, the Padres or the Dodgers? I know the answer to it. It's pretty easy to win a lot of regular season games when you have all that talent on that team that Dave Roberts has had year in and year out. My goodness, just what a night. And so the Padres, they fight back. Manny with the homer off of Glasnow. What a freaking game for Manny. Goes Oppo off of Glasnow. Then the bottom of the third, Profar singles down the line. Arise scores. Crony with the double. Made it 5-3. Profar scored there. And then no runs for a while there until the bottom of the ninth. Shout out to Jeremiah Estrada, by the way. He gets through that inning in, what was that, the 8th inning? Yeah, I think it was the 8th inning. Yeah, 8th inning. Because Suarez pitched the 9th. Right? Or was it the 9th? No. I think Estrada was the top of the 9th. My bad. Top of the 9th. He gets through that inning, and as he's walking to the dugout, he is yelling to the dugout, let's get some effing runs. And the Padres heard him loud and clear. At least Manny and Merrill did. Manny with the homer made it 5-4. Merrill with the homer made it 5-5. And I'm clipping the highlights, and the TV is behind. So sorry to my family watching. They I spoiled it for him. Sorry. I can't contain my excitement when that happens, especially when you're facing the team up north. Manny homers, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. They're in it. They were already in it, but all right, really in it. But then Merrill homers, and my jaw drops. I'm like, just like laughing as the ball's in the air. And then seeing the freeze frame, watching it back and screenshotting I posted on Twitter, by the way, or X, whatever, of Merrill looking at the ball like 500 feet in the air, and then the fans in the background all standing up and trying with his hands over his head, like, what the heck just happened? Oh my goodness, what a moment. Jackson Merrill, if you didn't know that Jackson Merrill was ready for the big stage and he is ready for this, now you know. I mean, he already came up with the RBI single at Dodger Stadium earlier in the year. Walk off against Mason freaking Miller earlier this year. The homers at Fenway. I mean, he's come through the diving catch today. To hit a homer in that spot, oh my goodness. And that pitch, it's not like that was an easy pitch to hit, right? That pitch broke. That reminded me of the Mason Miller home run that Merrill hit. It wasn't a walk-off today, but it was huge, freaking huge. In front of, by the way, a record attendance, I should say. 47,559. And don't let that other fan base that we were playing tonight say that, oh, the record happened because it was against that team. No, there was a record set against the freaking Diamondbacks, and it was not very far off from what the record was tonight. Padres fans have been showing up all year. I think this was the 33rd sellout of the season. So don't let that fan base say that, oh, it was them. That's why. No, it wasn't. Was there a lot of Dodger fans there? Yeah, that happens every series. But Padres fans showed up. And by the way, another hilarious thing was after the walk-off happens, they show the third base side, and it's just Dodger fans streaming up the steps, just leaving as Padre fans are celebrating after the walk-off win. Just amazing. Oh, man. I don't know where else to go from this. Like, Manny, he is the captain of this team. We need him to step up. We need him to perform well if we want to go where we want to go. And he's doing that. He's playing third base regularly now. He's not just, DHing and playing third base every once in a while. That catch that he made over the dugout railing, you got to realize how hard that freaking catch is. He's sprinting in, and he was blowing a bubble, by the way, of course, but he's running in, and he almost hit the corner of the dugout, or it jets out. There's the corner of the dugout, but then there's the camera well there. He almost hits that corner, and then he has to still concentrate to go make that catch, and maybe he's worried a little bit about where he's going to fall into the dugout if that thought crossed his mind for, a quarter of a second. So there was that. Then he's running backwards, slanted backwards to go make that catch that was at an awkward angle later in the game. And then, the homer off of Glass now to take him oppo. And then that homer that he hit off of Trinan, that looked like batting practice. I mean, that was just the one-hand finish. Obviously, Merrill, how clutch he is. That guy is freaking legit. That guy, if he's not a Padre for the rest of his career, I'm going to be very disappointed. And we got to give props to AJ for, again, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again. He was the one guy that didn't get traded in that Soto deal. They traded Wood, they traded Hassel, and look where Hassel is. He's still in the minors. Jackson Merrill's in the big leagues, and he's one of the best outfielders in Major League Baseball. So props to AJ for that. Props to Merrill for the work that he puts in, the development of Jackson Merrill. Man. Obviously, Profar with what he did tonight, Crony coming through. And then Donovan Solano. Obviously, I got to talk about Donovan Solano. Donnie barrels going down the third baseline there. When Donnie came up to pinch hit, I thought the Padres were going to win the game. I just didn't know how. There was one out. Luis Ariz, props to him. I don't want to just gloss over that. Luis Ariz getting that bunt down. And yeah, that was the right. Sure, it's Luis Ariz, bat to ball. Maybe, he had the walk-off earlier this year against the Dodgers, by the way, his first game at Petco Park as a Padre. So it's like, maybe let him swing. But when you have no outs and you can get second and third and it's the top of the lineup up, you take that opportunity. A sac fly scores a run and you win the game. You take that chance. So I was totally fine with the bunt by Rise. And so second and third, one out. Solano pinch hits. Dave Roberts doesn't know the rules, makes an idiot of himself. And Solano just takes the ball down the line and Padres win. What a moment. There's been so many moments just for individual players, right? Like how many players on this, and I'm talking about position players because there's been moments for pitchers as well, but position players, how many guys have had their moment this year? There's a bunch. Profar's had multiple. Manny's had multiple. I mean, Arise, obviously. Solano, Higashioka, even, Tatis with the 8-0 comeback against the Cubs. I mean, there's so many guys that have had their moments this season. And this is reminding me of 2022 with all the walk-offs that they had that year and all the great moments they had that year, winning in extra innings. They were able to beat the Dodgers in some amazing moments. Crony had a great walk-off, I believe, that year as well at Petco. It was a City Connect night. I remember that. Like, this team feels like that. They're fighting. They're a real team. They're not giving up when you're down 5-0. You get punched in the mouth in the first inning. It's easy to sit there and be like, all right, it's not our night. We got Dylan Cease on the mound tomorrow. Let's go win that game. No, this team, you got plenty of at-bats. You've come down from an 8-0 deficit. I think they came from 6-0 at one point this year as well to come back. You've done it. 5-0. And Glass now on the mound, it's okay. You can still come back from that. And they did it. My goodness. I feel like there's so many times this year where we're like, oh, that's the win of the year. That's the win of the year. I don't know if this is the win of the year. I think of that D-backs walk-off, the Manny walk-off, because it was a walk-off home run, not just a walk-off hit. But there were a couple of home runs today by Manny, homer by Merrill. Like, there was great moments today. The fact that it was against the Dodgers, there was the Arise walk-off, there was the 8-0 comeback against the Cubs. That's hard to beat. But this one's against the Dodgers, and I don't care if that fan base wants to get at me. Like, yeah, these games do mean more to us fans because it is against the Dodgers. It's 1 of 162, but it feels like more than that. And you can get on us for that. I don't care. I don't care. I care about me having fun with Padres fans about this win. Like, that's what I'm trying to do tonight. But, yeah, nothing better than a Dodger choke job, huh?